Well, don't you know, Friday night here in my jammies, and the Golden Vendor is selling some of the best items in the Elder Scrolls Online. I'm going to show you the Golden Vendor, what it's selling, why it's really important for mid-year mayhem, and how you can make a ton of money or get some of the best gear in the Elder Scrolls. You ready? So the Golden Vendor, in case you don't know, is inside of Cyrodiil. You go to your Alliance War tab, you queue up for Cyrodiil, whether you're a PvP sweat or not. And it's going to be at either one of your faction's home gates starter areas. So I'm on Daggerfall Covenant. Shout out to DC for life, best faction ever. And we're at the Northern High Rock, and we're going to go to the Golden Vendor. People constantly ask me, what do you use Alliance points for, which is the PvP, essentially currency for just killing other players, taking resources and keeps and so forth. It's right here, it's right now. So for the first weekend, Friday until about Sunday evening, think Destiny 2 Zur, this vendor is going to be out for a limited time. You're going to want to dump your AP on some really important and impactful items. You're playing PvP, earning Alliance points, and you don't really know what to spend it on. Here's what you're going to want to do. Step 1 is Deadly Strikes. Deadly Strikes, increasing the damage done over time and channel abilities by 15%. The Arcanist is going to launch on June 5th PC, June 20th on consoles, and it's almost entirely channeled based with a very long channel, 4.5 seconds, or even higher if you use the Crux version of this. This set absolutely melts content. If you're going to use the Arcanist, or even if you have a Templar and you're using Beam, you're using Puncturing Sweeps, Biting Jab, even Dark Flare, this is a really good set to pick up, but don't sleep on it when the Arcanist comes out. You can also sit on these items because it's bind on equip, and then wait till people start realizing, hey, this is a good set, and then boom, dump it on the marketplace, make a ton of gold, thank me later, and hit that thumbs up if you like this information. Moving along in that same vein is Cyrodiil's Light. Very old, kind of an odd set Templars used to run like in ancient times, but it has 15% damage reduction while you're casting or channeling. It is magic based, right? So the 3 and the 4 piece are magic, but if you're gonna use the Arcanist, maybe in PvP, you're super vulnerable by doing that 4.5 second channel. You also have a shield up during that time, so reducing your damage is going to be super critical. You pair this set with something like a high elf race that also gets damage reduction while you're channeling, and you can be extraordinarily tanky with your Arcanist. People are going to sleep on this set, but I'm telling you right now, if you want to play that, maybe in PvP, could be worth picking up. Now, if you're just here because you want to make a ton of gold, it's always the staple in the standard, Vicious Death. This is one of the common bomber setups, and these jewelry pieces consistently sell for very high value. So you can buy some, don't flood the market now, wait a little bit longer until everyone else has started selling theirs, and then you start slowly putting them out. Vicious Death, it's not going anywhere. Still effective along in combination with Plague Break. Very easy to make a lot of gold with this item. I'm gonna go up, run through some items that I actually personally like. They might be a little bit more niche, might not make you a ton of gold, but let me go through them. Number 1 is Battalion's Defender. This is actually kind of a fantastic beginner or super sturdy tank set. People sleep on it, but it heals you or an ally when you block within 15 meters, and it's actually pretty chunky heal. I use this actually in hard mode veteran dungeons when I don't know mechanics. I love this on my tank, and in fact that it's gold, you can't really buy it because no one buys and sells it. Don't sleep on this item set. Another item set is Curse Eating or Curse Eaters. Mara's Bomb is getting nerfed in the Necrom chapter, and so the cleanse is going to be from 15 seconds all the way to 30. So you're going to see people kind of shift out of Mara's Bomb, maybe Daedra Trickery, some other item sets like Hissap. Well, this is another one that people are going to shift to, and that's Curse Eater. When you heal yourself or an ally with a direct heal ability, remove up to 3 negative effects from them. If a negative effect is removed, you restore Magicka, and it can occur every 8 seconds. So people are going to use this to flip to their back bar, do a heal on themselves like Coagulating Blood with a Dragonite, boom, remove negative effects. You're going to see a lot of people shift to this, worth picking up if you're a PvPer and looking for an alternative to Mara's Bomb. A niche PvP healer set here is Amalexia's Mercy. This effect can occur every 3 seconds, and what it does is it heals your group members within 7 meters for quite a bit when you take damage, over 3 seconds, and it scales off of max magic and max stamina. Correct me if I'm wrong, you guys can leave me a comment, but I think this is what werewolf healers actually use. Stacking a ton of max stamina and just passively healing their groups and trials So kind of a niche set, but you can do some fun, interesting stuff with this. Another item setup is Ancient Grace. This was very common in the days of the Magic Sorc meta, stacking massive amount of magic to get your shields as large as possible. This set may not be as good and as valuable as previous, but it's still worth playing if you like that old traditional Magic Sorc huge max magic pool. Another set that I love on my Stamina Warden is Cyrodiil's Crest. So this is going to scale off of health, and when you block, you heal yourself, and it can occur every 4 seconds. So what you do with the Warden is you stack a ton of HP, and you take the Polar Wind skill, not Arctic Blast, and you flip to your back bar, and you have 2 things that heal based on max HP. So Polar Wind, if you're running around 50,000 HP on a Warden and use Polar Wind in combination with this, you will burst yourself up constantly and consistently. It's one of the tanky secret ways those Wardens are just God mode survivable. Elfbane is another set that is kind of a niche set. People use this on siege builds and very different type of builds, and increases the duration of flame damage over time by 5 seconds. So sometimes people use this. I personally don't, but it might be something you want to pick up and sell later on. Moving on to another one of my favorite sets is Desert Rose. So when you take damage, you have a 25% chance to restore magic, and it can occur every 4 seconds. This is fantastic in a ton of applications, specifically 1-bar Oakensoul tanks in PvE, because you don't have a whole lot of room on your bar for the Mage's Guild skill that gives you back infinite resource sustain equilibrium. So usually you put this on, and you can essentially have infinite resource sustain just by simply holding block and not dying. Fantastic also in PvP if you're running out of resource sustain, or you're using something that requires a lot of magic, because you're constantly taking damage, and that's a big amount of magic that can occur every 4 seconds. So you're constantly getting a flood, especially if you have damage over time effects on you. Desert Rose, PvE or PvP, I do love this set. I think it's worth picking up. Another set I think you need to pick up is Pontinents or Potentates. Did I say it right for once? Anyways, the 2-piece reduces damage taken from players by 3%, and the 3-piece reduce the cost of your ultimate abilities by 15%. Both of these are fantastic. So what a lot of people do is will run a weapon on the back bar like I do as a Frost Staff, and it just simply reduces damage taken from players. But if you do the 3-piece, then you get that super massive reduction in ultimate. That's fantastic for something like a Dragonite that can flip to your back bar with your necklace equipped, 2 pieces like a sword and shield, and then you get access to corrosive armor or some really high-powered, high-octane ultimate ability much earlier. Love this, especially on Oakensoul Magic DK. Really, really good 3-piece. A decent PvP set that a lot of people sleep on is Buffer of the Swift coming in here, reducing damage taken from players by 10%. Why that's relevant is it's not a named buff, so it stacks with major, stacks with minor buffs, it stacks with armor, it stacks with the Breaking Anchor passive, and you get all sorts of mitigation, including the Undeath Vampire passive that reduces damage the lower HP you go. So if you're going to use this, you can slot something like Revealing Flare from the Alliance War tab here and Salt Support, and that gives you major protection. You can also slot something from the Psijic Order here, when I don't even have a morph, but Temporal Guard, which gives you minor protection. That's 15 plus 10. Not good at math, but that's a lot, and it's a very simple set and forget set that can reduce a lot of damage for you at all times. Another set that I absolutely love for Stam builds early on if you can't get access to sweaty Trials gear is actually Vengeance Leech. So the 2-piece gives you max health, it's okay. The 3-piece, when you kill an enemy, you get health, magic, and stamina. I constantly recommend this to new PvEers that don't have access to Trials gear like Vicious Ophidian and False Gods. Vicious Ophidian and False Gods absolutely carry your resource sustain and survivability when doing solo gameplay, specifically solo arenas. If you don't have access to Trials because you don't play with people and stuff, but you want something that will just basically keep you alive constantly while throttling down doing damage, it's a 3-piece item set. Yes, it's not meta for damage, but the survivability is insane if you struggle as a solo player and you're playing some type of content that you're constantly killing mobs. Vengeance Leech, really good. So that's just quick the rundown of what I think you should spend your AP on and why. If I were just gonna do a too long didn't read here, I would go with Deadly Strikes, buying the neck, and then getting the rings next weekend. And then I would look at Cyrodiil's Light if you have any indication or any interest, I should say rather, in playing the Arcanist and you want some damage reduction in PvP. If I were just to essentially make some gold, I would look at Vicious Death here. If I was a solo player that struggles with survivability, I would look at Vengeance Leech. And then if I was like a tank and I really struggled solo for survivability, trust me, Battalion Defender will save your life. If you're looking for an alternative to Mara's bomb nerf, consider picking up Curse Eaters. And if you got something out of this video, for the love of Talos, hit that thumbs up. That's a video. Leave me a comment. What item sets you like? What did I miss? I'm sure you're going to leave me 75 comments about Delta, you idiot, you missed this really good set. But hey, it's a short video. It's Friday night. I'm in my jammies. I got to get back to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom with my son. We're leveling, having a good time. Appreciate you watching this video. Stop by twitch.tv/Deltiasgaming. My mom claims I'm the best streamer alive. Thanks for watching.